Have you ever had to return something because it was broken? Have you ever had to return a car because there were so many software issues? If so, you might be a Volvo EX30 driver. Volvo EX30 owners are facing a whole litany of software issues that are causing customers to return their EVs to Volvo. Let's dive into the details of what's going on, what Volvo is doing about it, and why the Volvo EX30 has been a pretty popular car up to this point. Welcome back to the Out of Spec podcast. I'm your host, Francie. Let's plug in. This episode is made possible by the support we get from Fort Collins Kia. If you are in the market for any electric Kia, not only do they never add market adjustments, they will deliver your car to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous states for out-of-spec viewers. More information in the link in the show notes. Well, folks, in recent years, the automotive industry has undergone profound transformation, to say the least. It's been propelled by advancements in software and digital technologies, as we cover a lot here on the Out of Spec podcast when it comes to EVs. And the emergence of software-centric cars represents a shift towards computing platforms on wheels. The biggest computer you might have one day might be your EV in your driveway. The EX30 has already managed to become one of the best-selling cars by the automaker Volvo, but also one of the most sold electric vehicles in Europe over the last few months of 2024. We talked recently about the delay in the EX30 in an earlier episode in the US market, so make sure to check that out if you are interested in this small SUV from Volvo. And now we're going to talk about the cars that are already delivered to customers in Europe. What is the reception? Unfortunately, it has not been a dance on roses for Volvo. There are even reports of some owners getting their cars refunded or returned to Volvo, which is not great. You're excited about a new EV to add to the family. Turns out there's too many issues. It's that annoying, and you want to return it. This should not be the reason that someone's returning a car, more so that it's maybe not the right fit than that there are just so many issues. It doesn't look great. The EX30 is Volvo's maybe more focused on software car yet that they've had on their lineup. It relies heavily on its large center display to show the speed, the vehicle functionality and navigation, all of that infotainment. It's that minimal EV design that is all screen forward. I do love the tangible aspects, though. Give me those tactile buttons and knobs and stalks as well. It also uses this screen in the car for different functions. But just like we're used to seeing with Tesla and other software-centric vehicles, it's more than just the infotainment system that the driver is using. For example, it uses this screen to choose headlight settings and reset the trip computer as well. It uses the center screen for climate control. It does not have an instrument cluster display, so it will show the speedometer on the same screen. Unfortunately, that means when the software is not cooperative, it quickly causes issues because there's one source for all of these functions. The specific issues that people have had with the EX30 definitely range and kind of annoying to, I can handle this. This is kind of bad to, oh, this is bad and it's severe and I want to return it. Some of the issues, for instance, have been there's been a blackout on the center display, so you can no longer adjust the essential vehicle functions. You no longer have a speedometer. You're kind of like blind in the car in terms of what you're used to having, all that information and control. There's also been more unresponsive steering wheel buttons, important for driver assistance and functions. I've had that happen on my VinFast VF8. I disconnected the 12-volt battery, reconnected it, and then I was able to have certain functions that had gone away, but that were also controlled by the steering wheel buttons, and I was very happy to have those back. It included the adaptive cruise control and the highway assistance, which I was about to go on my long road trip out to Colorado, so definitely wanted that help on the highways. That can be pretty annoying, especially if it affects functionality. Additionally, automatic emergency braking system has seen issues for some people that has had this system activating without reason. Hate that. I love the car to be a bit more predictable than that. There's also been failed charging sessions due to the car, and then other minor issues, including broken route planning and not being able to activate driver assistance systems. This is, funnily enough, starting to sound a little bit like some of my experience in the VinFast, which is maybe not what we would expect from such a big automaker like Volvo. Nonetheless, this has resulted in some of the United Kingdom, UK customers exercising their right to return the car for a full refund, Not ideal for Volvo. I mean, sometimes with the VinFast, you just wait it out. You wait till there's a fix. Some people are saying, I don't have time for this, or this is severe enough, or this is annoying enough, or this is not what I paid for. Give me my money back. We recognize that this is not what they expect from their Volvo car, and we are working to remedy this as swiftly as possible with the minimum of inconvenience to our customers, a Volvo spokesperson said to Autocar. Volvo has said that the EX30 will support over-the-air software updates. For example, they say that the digital key, the phone key, love that option, don't have that really with the VinFast, will come later in an over-the-air software update. But what do you think about, again, it brings up the question of what will be promised with over-the-air software updates that are not in the car when delivered to the customer? We've talked about this before. When is it a finished product that is decent enough, that has everything that they promised originally, and can be delivered to the customer? Should we be relying on over-the-air software updates for little, minute advancements, updates, things that make the driving experience better but aren't essential? And what should we be waiting before we put it in the hands of our customers? I mean, this is a consequence that we're seeing right now. People are returning their EVs and getting a full refund. Not great for Volvo. Sales numbers for the EX30 have been great for Volvo so far, though. In Norway, the car was the best seller of all cars in the months of April and May of 2024. It's Volvo's best-selling EV, and as of June 1st, the EX30 had already sold 35,000 units in total. Since the car currently is produced in China, we have yet to see what the new tariffs in the US on electric vehicles from China and in the EU will mean for sales numbers. For the US, we're still waiting for European production, like we mentioned in an earlier episode, and maybe we can hope for a remedy for those early issues by then. Let the other markets take that on first, and then we'll get the fixed product. That's perhaps what will happen. Hopefully, customers are seeing a response from Volvo that there will be a fix, and hopefully, they're not as severe across the board. In an interview with Autocar, the Volvo spokesperson said that in a very small number of cases in the UK, customers have chosen to exercise their consumer rights to return their cars. Volvo Cars strives and continues to support its customers throughout the ownership journey, and we continue to be encouraged by the positive feedback we are receiving from owners. Optimistic take, of course. I don't doubt that would be their take. This is probably the most direct proof that customers are not satisfied with their cars. When the software is not working on the date of delivery, customers are not keen on waiting for a promised software update remedy. I wouldn't be. I've seen it happen with Fisker owners as well. Again, that's another story, but having a car delivered and having software issues that were not expected is not ideal. So can this be the start of a movement that can push automakers to offer more complete software experiences on the date of delivery? Maybe with consequences like this seen with returns. We have similar issues with the Tesla Cybertruck missing certain software features on delivery, namely Tesla's staple autopilot feature that is still not available. We have seen the Fisker Ocean riddled with bugs upon delivery. And we also talked about the Volvo EX90 in an earlier podcast, which will likely have missing features and functionalities on delivery, though they say they will come in time. How long would you wait? Would you even wait at all? What can be done to help automakers ship finished products to customers? There seems to be a bit of a rush. What do you think about that? It makes sense you want to get things to market, but the returns are a direct consequence of getting things out there too fast without finished software. What is it with software where this is this one that we say the car runs, yeah, but maybe the software's not quite there yet? Why is the priority quite like this? How concerned are you, listener, about the reliability of software in vehicles, considering the potential bugs and glitches that we've seen in some products as of late, and the fact that we're building software-centric vehicles now? If something goes wrong with the software, there are tons of checks and balances in place to make sure that safety is still provided. Sometimes it's just annoying, but when safety does come into question, that's when things get pretty serious. What resources should be available to help customers understand software updates? I think this is part of it too, because as a consumer, you get a vehicle and you might not want to even think about it. You just want this to be the good product that you bought, that you were excited for, that you read the features of, and it should be easy to use. And when it comes along with kind of compromises or asterisks that are saying, okay, well, this will actually come later. You're going to have some bugs at the beginning. This might not be the smoothest experience ever. I feel like that one doesn't align with really Volvo's brand. And it also, I don't think, aligns with really what any automaker wants to be their brand. Shouldn't come out with bugs. Customers should just be able to sit in it and not really worry. Of course, you might need to get to know a new car, especially an EV if you're going electric for the first time. There's a learning curve, but it shouldn't be just totally lacking features and functionalities and having big glitches that make people want to return their cars. So, do you think it would be better if customers better understood software? Or is it, I see comments like this sometimes, should customers not have to worry about this kind of thing? Should EVs be more simple? Yeah, of course they should be simple. But at this point, information can be very helpful. Okay, let me know what you think. Are you an EX30 owner in the UK? Have you had these problems? Let me know. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for plugging in for another episode of the Autospec podcast. Really appreciate it. If you are enjoying our stuff, like, subscribe, share it out, leave a comment. I genuinely love the discussions that everyone has with all the new technology. It is really interesting to share our opinions, share our ideas, share what we found out, and do our own research and contribute to the conversation. Thanks again for plugging in. Drive safe, stay charged. I'll see you next time on the next episode. Bye-bye.